Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of Super 6 Predictions. It's that time of year. The Champions League has finally returned as we are now in the last 16 of the competition. I feel most of us can agree that when it comes to midweek football, the Champions League just hits different. I mean, not only is it the best European competition, but it's also one of the best continental competitions in the world, which speaks highly for itself, and I'm absolutely buzzing it's back. But anyway, before we move on to round 36, if you are new around here and you have liked my content so far, which I hope you have, the subscribe button is right there, so feel free to click on it. And yeah, round 36 will feature 2 Champions League followed by 4 championship games. So we are in for a treat here. But yeah, let's look at last week's summary. Don't get me wrong, 11 points is good, but could still be better. But yeah, great win for Arsenal against West Ham. I honestly did not expect that whatsoever, as I thought it would be a much more closer and even affair. I mean, I'm surprised West Ham were not up for it. You know, Arsenal were clinical, and the result doesn't lie. But yeah, you know, the Wolves prediction was an absolute train wreck. But oh my God, I needed one more goal from Newcastle and a late Villa equaliser to get 10 points. I mean, I was one goal off from getting them both correct. You know, I predicted 4-2 Newcastle, which ended 3-2. So, because I remember I was in Pizza Hut with my mate, and we watched most of the second half live, and I was just hoping that Newcastle would score at least one more. And it didn't happen, but there we go. Yeah, you know, Liverpool beat Burnley, but I feel like with Burnley, despite losing twice 3-1 away from home against top 4 opposition, it's not exactly bad results. They did score in both, and I feel like against lower opposition who match Burnley's level, I feel like Burnley can somewhat put up a fight away from home. But yeah, Brennan Johnson, oh my God. I mean, yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm not sure whether this is an actual good thing or a kick in the teeth. But his very late winner for Spurs got me that exact prediction correct, which was 2-1. So thanks for that, mate. But yeah, no, other than that, yeah, I'm pretty much happy with the predictions I made. So yeah, let's now move on to the first game between Copenhagen and Man City. Could this be possible Danish delight for Copenhagen with a victory? Possibly. I mean, they do have a much better chances there at home. They did finish runners-up in their group behind Bayern Munich, and they're now up against Man City, who did finish top of their group. But yeah, you know, I just feel like if this was the reverse fixture, Copenhagen would have absolutely no chance. But the reason why I do say they have a much better chance at home is because of the fans. They'll create the atmosphere and they'll give them the extra buzz and the motivation to push on. But yeah, you know, like I said, you know, Man City, they beat Everton 2-0 on the weekend. You know, I think Copenhagen, they're a good side, but they're nowhere near Man City's level. I feel like Man City will just have, you know, they have the extra quality. Man City have everything that Copenhagen wish they had. So I'm going to go for 3-1 Man City. This game appealed to me the most in round 36, which should be interesting and entertaining. Leipzig finished runners-up in their group behind Man City, while Real Madrid topped their group. But yeah, Leipzig, they're doing all right. They're currently 5th in the Bundesliga. However, Real Madrid are top of La Liga for a reason. They've been unreal so far this season. They recently smashed Girona 4-0 on the weekend with Bellingham, Rodrigo, and I believe Vinicius Jr. They all contributed in that game. Yeah, they're going into this game full of confidence. However, also, I looked at Leipzig's home record in the last month or two. And I saw a mixture of wins, draws and defeats, and they've not been consistent enough. And that's where I feel Real Madrid can sort of take advantage of that. But like I said, I'm not going to underestimate Leipzig because they're at home. But if this was the reverse fixture, Real Madrid would win. But like I said, Leipzig without Nkunku, who's obviously at Chelsea. Timo Werner, he went to Spurs on loan. So how many good players do they actually have left? But like I said, they've got a better chance at home, which is why I'm not having Leipzig to win. And just because I'm wearing a Real Madrid top doesn't mean I'm going for them either. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. Championship. Yeah, we're now on to the first championship game of round 36. Leicester smashing it. They're top of the league for a reason. They've been brilliant. They're up against Sheffield Wednesday, who are currently second bottom, and I don't see Sheffield Wednesday getting much out of this. This has a Leicester win written all over it, which is why there's not too much to talk about either, which is why I'm going for 4-0 Leicester. Leeds face a long trip to Swansea on the Tuesday night. Question is, can they return back with 3 points? Well, that's up to them. They have to win to put pressure on Southampton and hope they lose against Bristol to get back in the top 2. I looked at Swansea's form earlier. 4 defeats in their last 5, though they did win their recent game against Hull on the weekend. Whereas Leeds have won 3 and drawn 2 of their past 5 games. And in current form, Leeds have the advantage. But Swansea, they're at home. But even their home form's not been that good either. But like I said, Leeds, they've been doing really well this season. And they're in contention of promotion back to the Premier League. One of their wins, I believe, their FA Cup game against Plymouth went to extra time, which they ended up winning 3-1. But, that didn't seem to be a problem for them because they beat Rotherham 3-0 on the weekend. But I feel if injuries and fatigue kicked in, if that was a problem, they would have either drawn or lost against Rotherham. But, Swansea, they're not in the best run of form, and I feel like Leeds will beat them. So I'm going to go 1-0 Leeds. You Reds! Hang on, before I go on about the game, can I just say, I've been to Bristol a few times before because my sister went uni there and I was at the graduation around 2 years ago. So I thought, since it was going to be my last proper time there, I thought it was only right to get myself a souvenir. So I got myself this. But yeah, Bristol is a really nice place actually. It's quite posh, historic, plus it has a lot to offer too. But yeah, now going into the game, it's going to be a tough game against Southampton, who currently sit second, but 9 points behind Leicester. So if they want to cement their place in the top 2, they're going to have to win and hope Leeds lose to further the gap. And like I said, I'm not an overly passionate Bristol fan. I'm more like a neutral. So I don't really know their players that well, but I can't ignore the fact Southampton are going into this game in really good form. Bristol, they're doing all right. They sit mid-table, but it's a tough game, and I think Southampton will edge it 2-1. Final championship game of the round. West Brom are going into this game in better form with, I believe, 2 wins, a draw and 2 defeats, while Cardiff have lost 4 out of their last 5, with their only win being away at Watford recently. But like I said, with regards to Cardiff, I I don't mind them. I mean, I know about the rivalry. I think it's called the Seven-Side Derby. But yeah, I don't mind Cardiff. I mean, if I was born and raised and spent pretty much my whole life in Bristol, then yeah, I would hate Cardiff, but I don't. So, but like I said, this is a tough game for Cardiff, especially away at West Brom, who are in the playoffs as well. Yeah, so Cardiff, they sit around, they're literally mid-table, but only a point behind Bristol, while West Brom are currently in the playoffs. So if West Brom want to cement their place in the playoffs and progress towards the top two, they're going to have to keep winning their games. And I feel like that will be the case tomorrow night, which is why I'll go for 2-0 West Brom. In case you are wondering who I have on the back of my Real Madrid top, it's the legendary Kaká. So I've actually met him once before. It was a few years ago, back in 2017, when he was doing an advert at my local football club. But yeah, he won the Ballon d'Or back in 2007. He was unreal that year, and to have met him 10 years later was such an incredible feeling. But yeah, this is an interesting story. So I used to live in Australia, and I was really good mates with someone who I used to play football with there. And yeah, so he had this top, and before I left, we exchanged tops. So he had this one, and I had a Spain one, but it was before they won the World Cup back in 2010. So we exchanged shirts, and I've had this ever since. And yeah, so yeah, man, it's memories for life. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. Yeah, smash that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, and yeah, you pretty much know what to do. So yeah, I'll let you take it from there. Have a nice evening. Bye.